Okay guys, we're going to do this a quick little video to show you the Firefly. If I can get the camera to stand still. Firefly LP case. Now as you can see, if I can show you, there's cushioning all around. Right here there's a patch of cushion, and back here, so it rests on your bridge and everything, so it keeps it nice and soft. And there's a patch, there's cushioning all under this. This is got a layer of foam cushioning, and then there's a thicker patch of layer of foam cushioning right here that comes up, plus the sides are all cushioned on it, and there's a little bit of cushion here. Okay, this, we have the bat guitar, the famous bat. It is in my other Firefly case that I have. And to answer a question that was asked in the group, and I didn't go back and answer it, I believe Mark tagged me in it and I forgot to answer. As we'll show you, this is the other case. It's the case that somebody had posted. They're like $62.50 whatever on Amazon. They're the locking, they're like a TSA case. I'm going to show you the difference and answer that question that Mark had tagged for me to answer somebody, and I didn't. I've been so busy. Oh, hair on my guitar. That ain't this is the inside of that case. Now, I want to show you guys something. We'll do it here. There is no cushion. There's a little bit of cushioning foam, but it's nothing soft. There is no cushion down here. It's just a cavity with more or less feels like, you know, there's some hard cushion, but it's not a soft, and there's no cushioning in here at all. It's just a cavity. Same as under the guitar. There's no extra protection of cushioning, and the sides are all hard as a rock. I mean, it's got a little bit of foam cushioning, but it's just not much. But the thing I want to show you about this case is, I don't know if you can hear it because my air conditioning's running in here, but we'll try to see if you can hear it. And watch the guitar here. There's about a ½ inch of movement in this guitar, in this case. Okay, this case, there is no movement. No movement. No movement. Okay, now I'll try to get my finger. I've got about maybe a ½ inch under my finger from where the headstock would be laying on the back part of the case. And you don't want that. That's how your headstocks get broke. Because something hits the back of that case and it just force and it busts it off right there. Now over here with this guitar in here, this is the Blueberry. This is a full classic. Now this says classic, but it's actually an elite. And there's reasons for this, and that's all personal, different stuff. So just know that that's an elite if it's a bat guitar, and it's got the double binding in that, and it's built the way this one is, because there is another bat out there. Now that other bat is a classic. It's a full-fledged classic. But this one is the elite bat, but it says classic. And just be happy it says classic, because it's going to stay classic. Because look at it, that guitar is classic. It's kind of like the word's called custom, so that's why it's classic. Don't worry about this. Forgot to put the screw in it. This one, I've got about 3/4 of an inch behind the bottom of the headstock to where it touches. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take this guitar out and we're going to stick it over here into this case, and it fits perfect. And look, no movement, no nothing. Okay, now in this case here, I've got a good inch under the headstock from it touching. From not touching, there's a good inch. I trust this case way more than I would this case, and I'll show you why here in a second. We'll take this guitar, the bat, the real bat. Okay, now as you can see, the guitar's got quite a bit of movement in here. Quite a bit of movement. Okay, now here's the reason I would never use this case to transport this guitar, especially if you're going to put it on the airline, because this is supposed to be one of them cheap TSA cases. I cannot get my finger under here at all. The headstock lays on the bottom of the case. There is a little bit of instead of the weight being sitting right here where it's supposed to be like this to hold it like it does in the Firefly case, in this case it drops and this hits first. So this here actually has a little bit of slop in it. And if this case was to get hit real hard, you'd bust the headstock on. Now, the reason this headstock goes down lower, answering that question again from the beginning, and it almost touches, but it's up about a 1/2 inch on this one. The reason why is because the real classics, other than the bat, the real classics for a Firefly, these are 14-degree headstocks on those. On these elites, especially the bats, it is a 17-degree headstock. So for this case, I would not suggest using it for if you got an elite Firefly guitar or if you got the real bat guitar. I would not use this case. Or if you have a Gibson guitar with a 17-degree headstock, this case would be okay for a non-elite Firefly guitar with a 14-degree headstock. I would not use it for the elites or the bat or a Gibson, because you try to ship this or put it on a plane, you're going to have a busted headstock. Because if you've ever seen how they handle stuff at an airport, they just beat the heck out of it. I would not use any of these cases, to tell you the truth, to just hand it to somebody at an airline, because I would not trust them at all. If you're going to do that, just spend the money and buy yourself a gator case, a nice gator case, not the cheapest one, but one of the nicer ones. That's the only way I would trust not having the guitar busted. Now, your case might be all beat up and scarred and scratched to death, but hopefully the guitar would be fine. But if you shipped it in one of these to the airline, you'd have pieces and parts all busted off in there. And I wouldn't trust one of these, because these just ain't. These are made for gigging, taking around, thrown in the back of your van or whatever. These would work great. I wouldn't have a problem with it. I like them. I mean, it's well constructed, well built, looks nice. It's got way more padding in it than this thing does. And as you see in this one, this slides all over the place. And as you can see in here, there's no sliding. It fits perfect. And so will your Epiphone fit in there good. And I'm sure your Gibson would fit in there good too. But in this case, I mean, it's not a bad case. It's not a bad case, but I'll never transport this guitar in this case, ever. So I just want to let you guys know, and also let you know that the bat and the elites are 17-degree headstocks. And the classics and the classic bat, I'm not sure yet with the other classic bat, but I'm pretty sure it's got a 14-degree headstock. So if it's got binding, on the headstock and double binding on the body from Firefly, there's a good chance you've got a 17-degree headstock. So be careful on what case you use. I would suggest the Firefly case for the Firefly guitar. But if you got classic or an Epiphone, you know, you could get by with this case. But come on, look at it, guys. Just looks like a plastic hard shell. And this is man, this is class here. This is a classier, nicer looking case. So if you're going to go into if you're a gigging musician, or you want to go show off to your buddies, don't you think it'll look a lot nicer in that case than it would this coffin here? All right, guys, just want to get that out. I'll talk to you later. You guys have a good one. Bye.